Okay, so quadratic equation, it's an equation. Equation means it has an equal to sign. Okay, and a quadratic equation is one which has the maximum power of square. Okay, the maximum power for x should be square. Linear equation was what? Linear equation you learned in 7th and 8th standard. What was the rule in linear equation is? Again, that's an equation, but the maximum power is x. You just have x. Sometimes you have two values, x and y. Now, if you have x and y, then it becomes a simultaneous equation, or we call it simultaneous linear equation. Okay, so I will just show you the differences between all the three types of equation. If you have only x, then that is a what? What is that type of equation with only x? It's a linear equation. If you have x and y with equal to, then that is simultaneous linear equation. Okay, and if you have power of 2, it could be x square or y square or z square or any square. If the power is 2, then that is the quadratic equation. Okay, now in 9th standard we have solved a lot of questions about quadratic equation where we're finding the sum and the product. Okay. All right. Yeah, so a quadratic equation will have 2 as the maximum power. Now, I'll give you an example of a quadratic equation. X square plus 5x plus 6 is equal to 0. Okay. Now, have you seen like these equations before? Yes, we have done a lot of quadratic equations before. In 9th, you had a chapter called factorization where you only did this left side part of the equation. And what did we call this left side part of the equation? We called it a trinomial. A trinomial having 3 parts, right? And in this trinomial, we did the same method of calculation, that is splitting this x term into sum and product. Do you all remember that? Okay, anyway, I'll show you how to do one. So a quadratic equation will have x square compulsory. X is not compulsory. The number part also is not compulsory, but it should have the x square. Okay. So sometimes quadratic equations will have all these 3 terms like the x square, x and a number. Sometimes it will have just 2 terms like x square and x. And sometimes it will have x square and number. Still it is a quadratic equation. Okay. So 3 types of quadratic equation. One is where you have all the 3 terms, x square, x and number. Second is where you only have x square and x. And third one is where you have x square and the number. But what is compulsory in all these? X square. That x square has to be there. Okay, that's why it's a quadratic equation. Okay, so let us see the simple quadratic equation. How do we solve this? Is you use the sum and product. Okay, so sum is this middle term, the x, the coefficient of x. The coefficient means whatever is multiplied with the x. So what is multiplied with x is 5. That 5 is the sum. Come here. On time. Slept on. Okay. And then the coefficient of x square and the number. The coefficient of x square is 1. There's nothing multiplied with x square. That means the coefficient is 1. That 1 multiplied by 6, that will be the product. So the product is 6. Okay. So now you need to find 2 terms, 2 numbers such that their sum is 5 and their product is 6. Is there any number like that? Is there any number? 3 and 2. Okay, the sum of 3 and 2 is 5 and the product, that is 3 into 2, is 6. Right. So these are your 2 terms that we just now got. So your 5x has to be split into these 2 terms. So first you have your 1x square or x square, and 5x we will write it as 3x plus 2x, then plus 6 is equal to 0. Okay. Now we're going to group them into two. This is the first group. This is the second group. Now in the first group, what is common? In 1x square plus 3x, what is the common term? X is common. So x into, what is the uncommon part? X plus 3. Right. X into x is x squared and x into 3 is 3x. Right. Then you put this plus in between. Now from the next term, what is common? 2x plus 6?
2.
2 is common. So if we take 2 outside, then inside we have
X plus 3.
x plus 3. All right. Now these are your two terms. From these two terms, the bracket is the common part because it's the same. You have to get the same values in the bracket. If you didn't get same, what does it mean? You made a mistake. Okay. So you'll write x plus 3. And then what is the uncommon part? That is x plus
X
2
plus 2.
equal to 0. Okay. Now, what does this mean? Suppose I say something into something is equal to 0. What does it mean? For example, dash into dash is 0. What does it mean? It means one of these two terms, suppose I say a into b is 0. That means either a is 0 or b is 0. So that's what we're going to write over here. That is either x plus 3 is equal to 0 or x plus 2 is equal to 0. So here if we find x, the value of x is equal to minus 3. Right, if we take the plus 3 on the right. And here if we take the plus 2 on the right, we'll get x is equal to minus 2. Okay, so this is the final answer. You will get two values for x. You have to get. And a quadratic equation, since there's a square for x, you will get two values for x. In a linear equation, you will get only one value for x. But in a quadratic equation, you will get two values for x. Okay. In the last chapter, we did remainder and factor theorem. In that, what was the maximum power for x?
Till 3.
It was 3, no? X cube. That's why we got three values for x. We had three factors.
Yes, 3 factors.
Okay. And for those three factors, if you put equal to 0, then you will have three values for x. Okay.
Yes.
Remember, whatever is the power, that many values for x you'll have. If you have x raised to 5, it means you will have 5 values for x. Okay. All right. Now, this is a simple quadratic equation. You will not get like these questions from this chapter. Okay. Either you will get questions where the quadratic equation is a very complex equation where you have to simplify it and then you have to find product and sum. Or the second type of question is where the equation might look simple, but you won't get a product and sum because the two numbers that you get here might be in decimal point. Okay. So when it comes like that, you have a formula. Okay. This is the first time you're going to use formula for quadratic equations. Okay. You'll have that formula to find the two values for x. Okay. So we'll do both of the methods. Let's see in your book, what is the order at which they're explaining it. We'll go in that order.
Okay. Write this example.
Yes. Okay. Write down this much first. Start with explaining what is a linear equation, simultaneous equation, quadratic equation, and then show how to solve a quadratic equation.
Done, sir.
Okay.
Done, Anna.
All right. Did you all hear the results about your 10 and pens? All passed? Yes, passed. Yes, got 68. Anyone failed?
Anush passed.
Anush passed.
Yes.
Oh, you're telling me he passed.
Yes.
Okay, good.
I don't know what you're
You don't know about? Hemal, they both passed. Hemal got 60, Himakshi got 74. Himakshi, his sister. Okay. All right, continuing with our maths. So what is a general form for a quadratic equation? We have already seen it, but we're going to write it now using some variables. Okay, general form. So you have an x square term. So the number part we'll call it A. Then you have an x term. So that number part we'll call it B. And then you have a number without any x term. That we'll call it C. So this is how a general quadratic equation will look. Ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. Okay. Now, as I said, sometimes the bx might not be there. Sometimes the c might not be there. But what is always there is the ax square. Okay. So that means your equation could also be in the form of ax square plus bx equal to 0. Or it could be in the form of ax square plus c equal to 0. Right. The bx is optional, the c is optional, but you have to have two terms. Okay, you cannot have just only the x square part. You'll have x square with another term. So write down this. This is a general form for quadratic equation. Write down this question. Sneha, you can just keep your phone somewhere. You don't have to carry in your hand. It's moving continuously, Just keep it somewhere so then you can focus on your pen and book. All right, did you all read the next question? The first question. So there's an equation over here. And the question is it a quadratic equation? So what do you think? Can you tell if it's a quadratic equation by looking at it? So as of now, it doesn't look like a quadratic equation. There are so many terms and all that. So you have to simplify it. Okay, as simple as you can, you make it, and then you see whether it looks like one of these three forms. Okay, so how do you
Yes, sir.
simplify this? So 3x
We have
into
to multiply 3 into 2,
yes,
3x into 2x, 3x into 5.
yes. So the first step will be 3x into 2x, which will be 6x,
6x squared.
then 3x into minus 5 minus
15x.
15x plus 6 equal
6
to
is equal
same thing here
6x squared
6x squared
plus 15x.
plus 10x minus 6. And then you take
6.
all the terms to one side. Let's take everything to the left side. So what will happen to 6x square and this equal to 6x square? If you take the 6x square to the left,
0.
yeah, it will become 0, right? It will become 6x square minus 6x square, which will become 0. So what I can do is here itself, I will cut it off because it's going to become 0 anyway. Okay, I'm just saving some time instead of writing it here. Understood how you're doing it, everyone? If there's an equal to and there's the same value on both sides of the equal to, you can cut it off. You're not cutting, it's not division. It's just that it will become 0 when you add them or subtract them. All right, so what we
Yes.
have remaining?
Minus 15x plus 6 is equal
Should
to
we take all the
10x.
terms to the right or to the left?
To the left.
Okay, to the left. Okay, so that will be minus 15x minus 10x plus 6 plus 6 equal to 0. Yes? Minus 15x
Yes.
plus 10x to the left, that became minus, and then here plus 6 and that plus 6. So that is minus 25x plus
10x.
12 equal to 0. Okay, now we have simplified it as much as we can. The question is not to find x. The question is this a quadratic equation?
No.
Hmm? A quadratic equation should have
X square.
X square.
So this has no x square. In fact, what type of an equation is this? It's a linear equation.
Linear equations.
Okay, so your answer is no, it is not a quadratic equation. Okay, write that. Okay, next. Suppose I give you an equation. For example, 2x minus 8 is equal to 0. Okay, it's a simple linear equation. Now I'll ask you, can the value of x be 7? Can the value of x be 7? Or is the value of x 7 for this equation? How do you check if the value of x is 7 or not? This is your equation, 2x minus 8 is equal to 0. And I'm asking you, can the value of x be 7? How will you check? There are two ways to
Solve.
check. One is, yeah, you can solve the equation and find x and check if
Yes.
you're getting x as 7. That's the easier way. The easier way is simply substitute the 7 in place of x and solve it and see whether you're getting LHS is equal to RHS. What did we do? What's the second method? Simply substitute the value of
Places
x.
of x, we have to place 7.
Yeah, and check if your equation is getting satisfied. So let's do that second method. So 2 into x, that is 2 into 7 minus 8. Okay, we have to check if we are getting 0. So 2 sevens are 14. 14 minus 8, is it 0? No, it's not 0. We don't need to even get the answer. We just have to prove that the equation is not getting satisfied. Understand? So that is how we prove. Is that clear, everyone? To prove whether x is part of the equation, you just have to substitute the value of x in the equation and check if the equation is getting satisfied. Okay. Now the same logic can be applied for even a quadratic equation. Okay. Open your chapter exercise 5a, both of you check. The first multiple choice question, it's like this. See, they have given an equation. What type of an equation have they given? 4x square minus 9 equal to 0. What type of an equation is that? The quadratic. And they're asking you, that equation implies x is equal to one of those four options. That means when you solve this equation, you will get one of those four values as x. You need to find which value is correct out of the four options. So how will you do this?
Yes.
One is like how we did, that is substitute each value of x in the equation and check which one is getting satisfied. But
Yes.
you have four values to substitute, that will take time. So use the other method. What's the other method? Solve the equation
Solve.
to find what is x.
Yes.
Okay, how do you solve this equation? Now, here for this, you don't need to use sum and product. That sum and product rule is only when you have all the three terms.
Yes.
That is when your equation is in the form of ax square plus bx plus c. That time we will do the sum and product method. If it is in the second or the third form, it's much more easier. We don't need to use the sum and product. Okay. So how do we solve this? See, this only has the x square term and the number term. So how do we solve this? Separate the terms. Take x square term to the left and the number terms to the right. So minus 9 will take it to the right. That will become plus 9. Simple, like a normal.
Option 4.
Okay, you got the answer. Now x square is equal to 9 upon 4. Now we need to find x. So how do we find x? We have to do square root of 9 upon 4. So x is equal to 3 upon 2. Now it could be plus or minus. Square root of any number could be positive or negative. What is the square root of 9, everyone? It's not only 3. It could be plus 3 or it could be minus 3. Okay? No. What is plus 3 into plus 3? What is 3 square, everyone? What is minus 3 square?
9.
Minus 3 into minus 3 is 9. So square root of 9 has two options, plus 3 or minus 3. Okay, so your answer is the fourth one. Okay, all of you rejoin the same meeting. Okay, Sneha, you have the link. Join the same meeting once again. Yes, so in this equation, they have given the value for x, but you don't have k. So just substitute the value of x in the equation and find k. You know, try doing it. Substitute the value of k in x in this equation and find k. How many values will you get for k? K is one. Yeah, only x will have two values. Okay. So yes, put the value of x in the equation and find k. Come on, do.
K is equal to minus 2.
Anyone else? Minus 2.
No, -2.
Okay, so 2 plus k is equal to 0. Take 2 to the other side, k is equal to -2. What happened, Aman? Oh, Aman, linear equations. I told you, Aman, do that 7 chapter. This, you're not going to get through this. You have to do that chapter. You didn't substitute x.
Yeah.
Why? You're finding x. And for k, you put 2.
X value.
In place of x, you have to put 2, no?
Yes.
In place of k, you put 2.
No, because X value here is
K is k, x is x. In place of x, you have to put 2, and k, you have to find. Why putting k's value as 2? K is different. Okay, I hope everyone understood. Okay, now go to the second question in 5a. Question number 2. What's the question? Find which of those are quadratic equations. Did you see the question? So by looking at it, you can't tell. You have to make it into the proper quadratic equation form, like the one we did, right? So I want you all to solve the second question right now. 2, 2. All right. So it's a binomial into binomial. I hope all of you remember how to multiply binomial into binomial.
Yes, sir.
For those of you who forgot, first x into 3x, then x into plus 1. After that, -4 into 3x and -4 into plus 1. So watch if you don't know. X into 3x is 3x,
square.
and x into plus 1 is plus 1x or plus x. Next, -4 into 3x is -12. And -4 into plus 1,
-1.
-4. Everyone clear? In the same way, you'll do the RHS also, binomial into binomial. After that, you will
We
take
have to check that the RHS is equal to RHS.
No, you're not checking if RHS is equal to RHS. You are making everything to one side and checking if it is a quadratic equation.
Yes, sir.
Solve it.
on one side is plus and on the
No,
side.
it's not quadratic.
Yes, sir. It's not a quadratic equation.
Not a quadratic?
No, no.
And now -1 into 2 is 2 or -2.
Minus into plus is minus. So this is what you should get on the right side. But here itself, you can see that your 3x square is equal to 3x square is cut off. So your x squares are gone. So this is not a quadratic equation. Okay. You don't even have to solve further because there is no x square only. Okay. So we can write over here, not a quadratic equation. Okay. So the remaining from 2 will be your homework. From 3, you do question number 2. 3, 2. Third question is x is equal to -3 a solution of the equation of that one? So how will you check?
Substitute.
Yeah, just substitute and see whether LHS is equal, whether the equation is getting satisfied. Come on, do it. These are all 1 mark questions, okay?
So now in this we have to check if LHS equals to RHS.
Yes. The other word for that is checking if the equation is getting satisfied.
No, no. It doesn't satisfy me.
Okay, not getting satisfied, right, everyone? So 2 into -3 whole square minus 7 into -3 plus 9 is equal to 0. Not equal to 0. Don't write equal to 0 yet because we don't know what it is. So that's 2 into, what is -3 whole square?
9.
9, no? What you wrote? What, 9? Aman, 3 square is 9. Then -7 into -3 is plus
Plus
20
20.
plus 9. You can clearly see that you're adding everything. It's not going to be 0. right? It's all addition, addition, addition. So how would it be 0? So without even calculating, you can just write not equal to 0 and you're done with it. Okay. Your math sums is all about solving as fast as you can. So don't do the longest method. Find the shortest method to get the answer. Okay. All right. So without even solving, we can tell it is not equal to 0. So you can write over there. Therefore, x is equal to -3 is not a solution of the equation. Okay. I think this much is enough from maths for today. So exercise 5A, all the remaining questions is your homework. Okay, this is the fourth question for those of you watching this video. Fourth from 5A. We have substituted the value root 2 upon 3 in place of x in the equation, and we have to find the value of m.
And now, how does the root cut off?
So, sorry, once again.
How did you cut off the root? There's no root in 2 by 3.
Wait, put a camera on and speak. No, I cannot hear you clearly. I can see your mouth if you speak. What does that say? Put a camera.
How did you cut off the root?
Which root?
Here. The first one. 3 into 2 by 3.
It's a whole square, no? So root and the square gets cut off. When you whole square a root, the shortcut is the root just goes. I'll show it to you here on the side. All of you, what is square root of 5 whole square?
5.
That's 5. How did you get 5? If you're seeing the working, then square root of 5 means root 5 into root 5. And root 5 into root 5 means root 25. And root 25 is 5. That is how it becomes. Right? If you see every step. So in one step, you can just write square root of 5 whole square to be 5. Shall we go to the next one? Okay, look at the fifth question. 2 by 3 and 1 are the solutions of equation mx square plus nx plus 6 is equal to 0. Find the values of m and n. Okay, so now we have two solutions for the equation, which means you can get two equations if you substitute these values in place of x. First, you substitute 2 by 3 in place of x, you'll get one equation. Then you substitute 1 in place of x, you'll get a second equation. So now two equations and there are two missing values, m and n. So how will you solve it? Simultaneous equation, right? When you have two equations with two missing values, you have to solve it using simultaneous equation. Okay, so I'm not going to solve this. If you noticed over here, so much of this was the 9th standard portions. Like what all? From the fourth question, is rationalizing the denominator. When did we learn that? That's a 9th. Simultaneous equations. When did we learn that? 9th. You see, they're all 9th standard topics. So you'll have all the 7th, 8th, 9th topics that keep coming in 10th. Okay. What is a new thing that you're learning in 10th over here? The whole topic, quadratic equation. That is a 10th standard topic. But applications, whatever you're doing inside the solving part is all based on what you've learned before. All right. So those of you didn't get the fifth one, you understood how to do it. Can you try it out and get it, please? You didn't get the fifth. You understood? Anyone else? Any doubt in the fifth?
What do we do with the denominators?
You have to make it into only numerators. In simultaneous equation, sometimes you have to
Multiply the denominator to the other side, to the right hand side, right?
Yes, put whole divided by 3 and then cross multiplication. Like that, you have to get rid of the denominators. I will just do the first equation because I think that is where you're all getting stuck. Those of you who did. So m into 2 by 3 whole square plus n into 2 by 3 plus 6 is equal to 0. Okay, so that is m into 4 by 9 plus n into 2 by 3 plus 6 is equal to 0. So now the denominators are all different. It's 9, 3 and 6. So the LCM of 9, 3 and here the denominator is 1. LCM of 9, 3 and 1 is what? Like what can we make all of them into? You can make all of them 9. So here we have to do into 3. And here we have to do into 9. Okay. So that way this is 4m upon 9 plus 3 2s are 6. 6n upon 9 plus 9 6 are 54 upon 9 is equal to 0. So now when all the denominators are 9, we can take it as whole upon 9, right? And then when we cross multiply, this 9 will get multiplied with a 0. And that becomes 0. So you just have 4m plus 6n plus 54 is equal to 0. This will be your first equation. Or you can take the plus 54 to the right side, it will be minus 54. All right. So like this, you have to get rid of the denominators before you simultaneously solve them.
So now why didn't we multiply m and n in the denominator?
Because that's how multiplication of fractions are. You only multiply numerator with numerator. You don't multiply numerator with the denominator. Okay, the rest of it please complete it later on. We'll move on. Okay. You know what to do? Same ways like this, you will substitute 1 in place of x. You'll get the second equation. Simultaneously solve them. You will get the value for m and n. You get it? What do you got? Minus 15 and 9? Okay. All right. We're moving on to exercise 5b now. See, here you will start seeing the word roots of the equation. So what do you mean by this word roots of the equation? It's a solution, the value of x. Okay. So look at this MCQ B. The roots of the quadratic equation x into x plus 8 plus 12 is equal to 0 r dash and dash. How will we find this? Just find x, solve the quadratic equation. Right, using the sum and product. You remember the sum and product thing?
Yes.
Come on, all of you solve this. B, 5b, 1b. So x into x plus 8 plus 12 is equal to 0. So x into x and x into 8. That is x square plus 8x plus 12 is equal to 0. See, this is a quadratic equation. Why? Because you have x square. If you have a square, then that's a quadratic equation. Along with the square, you have x term and number term. Okay, this is how mostly a quadratic equation is. It will have 3 terms, x square, x, and a number. Sometimes it will only have x square and x. Sometimes it will have only x square and the number. Okay, but x square is always there. Now, how do you solve this equation? We have done this a lot in 9th. Okay, so others all know this. So now listen very carefully. Okay, this middle term 8x need to be separated in such a way that the sum of the two numbers will be this 8.
Oh, no, I know this.
You know this, no? Good.
Yeah, I
Saved a lot of my time. Okay. And the product will be this 1 into this 12. Right? The coefficient of x square, that is 1 into 12. That is 12. So what are the two numbers here? Such that the sum is 8 and the product is 12.
2 and 6.
2 and 6 or 6 and 2. Right? 6 plus 2 is 8. 6 into 2 is 12. So substitute that over here. So 8x will become 6x plus 2x plus 12. Then take common from the first two terms and common from the next two terms. So x into x plus 6. And from the next 2 is common. So 2 into x plus 6 is equal to 0. Yeah. So now we have x plus 6 as the common term. because it came twice in the bracket. And the remaining uncommon term is x plus 2 equal to 0. So then you take x plus is equal to 0 or x plus 2 is equal to 0. So from here we have x is equal to minus 6 and here x is equal to minus 2. Two values for x. These are the roots of the equation, minus 6 and minus 2. Is it minus 6 or minus 2 or minus 6 and minus 2?
Minus 6 or
Or. Okay, because both these values don't have to be 0. Just any of these have to be 0. So or, okay, see there's confusing here. So it's minus 6 or minus 2. Sometimes a quadratic equation won't look like a quadratic equation. See, it looks like this. If x plus 1 upon x is equal to 2.5, the value of x is dash and dash. So again, there are two values for x. Here actually you can just see this is and this is or. Only this one has or, so probably it should be this one, no? You know, sometimes you don't have to solve something to get the answer. You can just look at the tricks. Anyway, so let's see how do we solve this equation now. Did everyone note this down? If someone didn't get it, and now you can just write or take a screenshot. Have you understood? It's done.
And I will solve it by
What you will?
I will solve it by my own. You know the method, right?
Okay. All right. Now here, how do we make this into a quadratic equation? Because you have, it will become a quadratic equation. Okay, forget about quadratic equation. How do you solve this equation? As of now, it doesn't look like a quadratic equation. How do you solve it? How do you add a number with a fraction? Yeah, the shortcut method, we know that is you multiply this x into that x. So that is x square plus 1 whole divided by this denominator, x is equal to 2.5. Next step, multiply the 5 with the 2.5. So that is x square plus 1 is equal to 2.5 x. See, now we got a quadratic equation. We have all the terms. Minus 2.5x plus 1 equal to 0. But there's a point here. So how do we get rid of this decimal point? We can multiply this whole equation with something. With what? Okay, with 10 you can do. But smaller than 10 also, can you do with 2? Will that help? Because don't need to make it as big as possible. Make it as small as you can. What is 2.5 into 2, everyone?
5.
5. See, the decimal point is gone. So into 2 is enough. You don't need to do into 10. So that is 2x square minus 5x plus 2 is equal to 0 into 2 is also 0. So this is your quadratic equation. Come on, solve it everyone now. Complete it. I hope you know the sum and product here. What is the sum and what's the product? Product is this 2 into this 2. That is 4. And sum is this middle value here, that is minus 5. Yeah, the sixth question, 2x minus 3 whole square is equal to 49. So this 2x minus 3 whole square is in the form of a minus b whole square. You have to apply that identity. Again, this is 9th standard topic or 8th standard topic. 8th. What is a minus b whole square? A square plus b square minus 2ab. Okay. Or a square minus 2ab plus b square. Okay, any of this. So if you're applying this, that will be 4x square minus 2ab. That means minus 2 into 2 into 3. 4 into 3, 12. Minus 12x plus 9 is equal to 49. This is what it should become. Then you take the number on the left side. 4x square minus 12x plus 49 minus 49 is minus 40 is equal to 0. This is your equation. Then this equation can be divided. It can be made smaller. You can divide the whole equation with 4. So then you get x square minus 3x minus 10 is equal to 0. This is your quadratic equation. That's what you have to solve. Did anyone get the answer already? Minus 40 you didn't get. What did you get? Plus 9 minus 49. Calculation mistake.
Anna 5 and minus 2.
5 and minus 2. Okay.
So what is 70 minus?
Yeah.
Anna, rather than dividing the equation by 4, you could write the number. I got the number. 4x square minus 20x plus 8x minus 40 is equal to 0.
Yeah, you can do it without dividing by 4 also. Both the equations are correct. Only thing your sum and product will be bigger. Eventually your final answer
Yeah.
will be the same.
Yeah.
No, got
Yeah.
5 and minus 2.
5 and minus 2 or minus 5 and plus 2?
5 and minus 2.
Are you talking about the two numbers or you're talking about the final values of x?
Final value. Right.
5 minus 2.
5 and minus 2.
But Ryan got minus 5 and plus 2, no?
No, 5 and
No, Anna, 5 minus 2.
Okay, 5 and minus 2. Okay. 5 or minus 2.
now won't it be minus 5 and plus 2?
That's what even I'm thinking. It should be. Yeah.
Bigger
See, look.
number, get the bigger number, sir.
Final answer will be minus. Wait. Look here. So here it is
5 and 4 minus
2 and minus 5 or minus 5 and plus 2 because minus 5 plus 2 is minus 3. Okay. But just look at what will happen to the answer. Okay, let's take minus 5x plus 2x minus 10 is equal to 0. So x into x minus 5 plus 2 into x minus 5 is equal to 0. So x plus 2 into x minus 5 is equal to 0. See what happens to x plus 2? It will become x is equal to minus 2. And x minus 5 will become x is equal to plus 5. Is this the answer you got? Plus 5 and minus 2, right?
Yes.
See, here the numbers are opposite. Here it was minus 5 and plus 2. But the answers are plus 5 and minus 2. Okay?
Yeah.
Now, as you keep going down, the questions get a little more complicated. Like to get to the quadratic equation will be a little longer. You will eventually get the quadratic equation, but there will be many more steps to reach the quadratic equation. Eventually, you have to get a quadratic equation that looks like this and then solve that. Okay? Look at the questions. You see? So here, seventh question is how? So binomial into binomial. Right? And then you have to take all the terms to one side. Eighth, hold it for now. Look at the ninth. How do we solve the ninth one? You have to cross multiply. So when you cross multiply, you will get again binomial into binomial. Same like the seventh question. 10th is already in proper form, but they're just saying what are the values of x when it is natural number and when it is q. Q is rational numbers. So probably you'll get two values for x. One will be a natural number, that means without fraction, and the second one will be a fraction. So you have to mention both the values of x. 11th one, here also cross multiplication, but there's a slight different method when there's a plus in between. Okay, let me write those two methods. Suppose it's a upon b is equal to c upon d. How do we cross multiply this? First you say a into d, ad and a equal to bc. This is the normal cross multiplication when you have equal to in between. And if you have plus or a minus in between like this, then what will this become? AD plus BC. Done? Not done. Divided by BD. You have to write that also. Okay. So this is the cross multiplication when you have a plus or a minus in between. So that's what you're going to use for the 11th one. So this x minus 3 into x minus 3 plus x plus 3 into x plus 3 whole divided by x plus 3 into x minus 3. Okay, all of you right now, you do the 11th question. First, you write down these two forms of cross multiplication. See, when you cross multiply, you should get x plus 3 into x minus 3 into x minus 3 plus x plus 3 into x plus 3 whole divided by x plus 3 into x minus 3. Did you all get this? Now, did you notice
Yes.
this minus 3 into x minus 3 means x minus 3 whole square? That means a minus b whole square form. And here x plus 3 to x plus 3 means? I'll write it in that form, then it'll make more sense. X minus 3 into x minus 3 means x minus 3 whole square. And here x plus 3 into x plus 3 is x plus 3 whole square. And down is in the form of x plus 3 into x minus 3. So you can see all the three identities that you have learnt is in this question. First is a minus b whole square. Then here you have a plus b whole square. And third you have a plus b into a minus b. Don't forget the RHS. RHS will be 2 to the 4 plus 1, 5 upon 2. See, now you can do using the identity, or you can do binomial into binomial, x into this, x into 3, 3 into this, 3 into that. That way also you'll get the same answer. But that will be a little longer. Since you have an identity, use the identity. So that will be x square minus 6x plus 3. I'll get it. Denominator will be a square minus b square. Ah. Did you get this? Is this step correct for everyone? Here we added x square plus x square. So we got 2x square. Then the minus 6x plus 6x became 0. And the plus 9 minus 9, plus 9 plus 9 became plus 18. All right, so this is what you're supposed to get. So now this is in the form of, again, a cross multiplication like this one, where you have the equal to in between. So here you'll just do the normal cross multiplication. Two x squares. Yeah, bring it to the same side, no? So what is 4x square minus 5x square? You can minus them. Only one value for x? You got a quadratic equation. Trinomial. All three terms. Only x square and number you got.
Allah, I got x is equal to
9. Plus 9 and minus 9. Two values, huh?
9.
Plus 9 and minus 9. Yeah. It's on top. Wait. Yeah, plus 10 or minus 9.
Yes.
Now the eighth question, everyone, is slightly different. Look at the eighth question. What can you understand from that? What do we do here now? Should we apply the a minus b whole square here? 4 into 2x? You can't multiply when there's a whole square there. Hmm? To do sum and product, you need a proper quadratic equation with x square, x and number. But here there is number, x, number, x, number, number. There are so many terms. You need to simplify that, no? Question is, how do we simplify this? See, in the sixth question, when you saw a whole square, what did we do? We use the identity a minus b whole square. Here also we have the same thing, 2x minus 3 whole square. So naturally, what you'll think is to apply the a minus b whole square over here. That is what you should do if you're doing it the right way. But let me show you another method. Now, can you see the 2x minus 3 coming here and over here also? You see the 2x minus 3 is repeated twice. So here you have 2x minus 3 whole square, and here you have a 2x minus 3. So what we'll do is, we will take y is equal to 2x minus 3. Means in place of 2x minus 3, we will replace it with y. So now what will this equation become? 4y square minus y minus 14 is equal to 0. See what we have now? We got a quadratic equation. See, y square y, and it's not x, but it is y. So you have y square y and a number. So now we can use the sum and product rule and just solve this as a normal equation. And finally, what you'll get is, you'll get two values for y. Is that your answer? That's not your answer, because the question doesn't have y. The question is telling you to find what? X. But what we got is y. Understand, everyone? Okay. So just do this first. Get the two values for y, and then I'll tell you what to do after that. Do question 8.
Anna, can we divide it by 2?
What?
Can we divide the equation by 2?
No, y is just 1y, no? So it's already at the smallest. You can't make it smaller. What's the answer? Minus 8 plus 7. Bigger number should be negative because the sum is negative. So minus 8 plus 7. Okay, let's check. Yeah. Just keep it outside. I'm coming. I'm just teaching you. So here y is equal to minus 7 upon 4. Okay. Now normally this is where you would end. But this is not the end of this term, because we have to find x, not y. Okay. Are you all listening? Is everyone here? Now look, After we get
Yes.
this, we need to substitute the values of y in this equation. Y is equal to 2x minus 3. And then we need to find x. Y in y meaning? 2x minus 3, y. Substitute in place of x or y? Yeah, in place of y, that only. See, this is y's value. We need to substitute this value of y over here, no? What you're saying? Yeah, we can do that here. Since y is equal to this, in place of this y, you can put 2x minus 3. Same thing, no? Whatever it is, in place of y, you're putting 2x minus 3. Okay, either this way or that way. So, okay. So in place of y, we will put 2x minus 3. So we get what? 2x minus 3 is equal to minus 7 upon 4. So you understand? In place of y, we put this value of y. So here now we have a linear equation. Solve this linear equation to find x. So 2x is equal to minus 7 upon 4 plus 3. So 4 into 3 is 12. So 2x is equal to minus 7 plus 12 upon 4. You know what to do after this. So complete it and tell me the two values for x. You have 2 minutes. Finish fast. 5 upon 2.
5 upon 8.
5 upon 8.
5 upon 8 or 5 upon 2.
5 upon 8 and 5 upon 2.
Oh, the other one is 5 upon 2. Yes. Okay. All right. So 5 upon 8 or 5 upon 2. Is that what you all got?
Yes.
Oh. Your homework is to complete all questions till the 14th question here. Exercise 5B till question 14 is your homework. Okay. We'll end with this. I'll see you tomorrow.
MCQs also.
What?
The MCQs also.
Yeah, do everything till 14th. Tomorrow, physics and maths. Okay. All right, bye, everyone.
Bye now.
I have to post the videos. I'm in the process of that. Halfway done. Okay, Gloria?
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Record this. 13th question. Yeah, equal to 4 upon x. So here 5x plus 30 minus 3x plus 6. Yes. And here binomial into binomial. Oh, that's where you made a mistake, Anna. It's binomial into binomial. So x into x, that is x square. Then x into 6, that's plus 6x. Then minus 2 into x, minus 2x. And minus 2 into plus 6, minus 12, equal to 4 upon x. Okay, there here, add the like terms. 5x minus 3x, that is 2x plus 30 plus 6 is plus 36 upon, here the like terms are 6x minus 2x. So that is x square plus 4x minus 12 is equal to 4 upon x. Then cross multiply this. So x will multiply with 2x plus 36. So it will be 2x square plus 36x. Correct? Equal to, here this whole thing multiplies with the 4. So that will be 4x square plus 16x minus 48. Then take all the left side terms to the right side so that x square will remain positive. Because here we have 4x square, here we have 2x square. So that's 4x square minus 2x square. Then plus 16x minus 36x and minus 48 equal to 0. So that's 2x square. 16 minus 36 is minus 20. minus 48 equal to 0. Now divide this whole equation with 2. So x square minus 10x minus 24 is equal to 0. This is your quadratic equation for the 13th question. Those of you who didn't get it, solve it till here, complete the rest after the class.
It should be minus 6, right?
Where?
5x plus 30 minus 3x minus 6.
Oh, see, it's minus 3 into minus 2. Minus into minus will become plus.
Anna, is it x is equals to 4 and x is equals to 6?
Yeah. Is that right, Ryan? 4 and 6?
No, I think I got x equals to 12 or x equals to minus 2.
Anna, minus 2 and 12.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, look at the signs. Who said that first? Anna.
Yes.
See, sum is
Anna,
minus 10, product is minus 24. So one number is minus, one number is plus. So you took both number as minus. That's why you got 4 and 6. Product is negative. For the product to be negative, one number should be positive, one number should be negative. So it's minus 6. Wait, yeah. Minus 6 and 4 won't work. So it's minus 12 plus 2.
You took all the numbers to right hand side, right? And 2x square plus 36x, you took it to right hand side, right?
Which ones?
2x square plus 36x.
Yeah, I took everything to the right side. Yeah.
I took it to the right side, means the right hand side numbers, I took it to the left hand side, and I'm getting equation as minus x square plus 10x plus 24 is equal to 0.
You
The
get,
signs are
yeah, then just multiply, change all the signs again. Okay, I'm going to start the 14th one. 14th question, please listen carefully. It is slightly more difficult than the rest of them, so it can be slightly confusing. Okay, so 1 plus 1 upon x plus 1 into 1 minus 1 upon x plus, sorry, x minus 1, right? Equal to 7 upon 8. Now here you have a binomial into a binomial. But before you multiply binomial into binomial, you simplify each of those binomial. So here you will multiply this x plus 1 into this 1. And here you'll multiply the x minus 1 into that 1. You know that shortcut, no, for a single integer into a fraction. Huh?
I can't see the first binomial. Can take your phone a little bit. I can't see your full screen.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So we'll multiply x plus 1 into 1. So that is x plus 1 plus 1 whole divided by x plus 1. Correct?
Yes. Yes, sir.
And here this will be what? X minus 1 into 1. So that is x minus 1 minus 1 whole divided by x minus 1. Right? Okay, so now like terms you
Yes,
can
sir.
add. So that will be x plus 2 upon x plus 1 into x minus 2 upon x minus 1 is equal to 7 upon 8. All right. So now this is, the numerators are what? X plus 2 into x minus 2. What is x plus 2 into x minus 2? X square minus 2 square. This is the identity, the third identity. Is a plus b into a minus b. Right, that is a square minus b square. Down also is in the form of a plus b into a minus b. So that will also become x square minus 1 square is equal to 7 upon 8. So that is x square minus 4 upon x square minus 1 equal to 7 upon 8. So now you have proper fraction is equal to fraction. What's the next step? Cross multiplication. Continue it from here, everyone. Done? What's the answer for x? 5. One number?
Yes, sir, done.
5 and minus 5.
Okay, that's better. 5 and minus 5. Don't give one value for x, you'll get wrong. If you get root 25, it is plus 5 and minus 5.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, all of these questions in this exercise is the same type.
And
Okay.
now how to do 15th one?
15th one, now it's the opposite. You see here what they have given? They have given the answer. They're saying find the quadratic equation whose solution set is 3, 5. So what they've given is they've given two values for x. The first value for x is what? 3. And the second value for x? Let's put or.
5.
X is equal to 5. You see, they've given the answer. So you have to do it backwards now. So x is equal to 3 means what? X minus 3, and x is equal to 5 means x minus 5 is equal to 0. Do you see? Next step will be what? Binomial into binomial. So that is x square minus 5x minus 3x plus 15 is equal to 0. Then you add these two, that is x square minus 8x plus 15 is equal to 0. This is your quadratic equation. We did the reverse and we got the quadratic equation. Normally what we would do, we would have the quadratic equation and then we have to split this 8x into two numbers, no? Those two numbers would be minus 5 and minus 3. So exactly opposite of quadratic equation here you're doing for this, okay? Is that clear everyone? 15th one?
Yeah. Anna, how to do the 19th one?
What, Nathan?
Anna, how to do the 19th one?
Yeah, we'll go there. So 15th is clear. 16th is a normal quadratic equation. Only thing x value should not be 6. So ignore that and just solve it like a normal quadratic equation, cross multiplication and everything, and you will get Beryl. Second 16.2, solve the equation here if possible for real values of x. Try solving this equation. Tell me what you get in the next class. Then if it's not working out, I'll tell you what to do over there. Okay. But again, it's a normal quadratic equation. 17th one. Find the value of x if a plus 7 is equal to 0 and b plus 10 is equal to 0 and 12x square is equal to x minus b. Okay. Now this is completely different than the usual, right? What do you think you should do here? It looks different, but actually it's easy. Look at the question and tell me what should we do here. You have three equations here. First equation is what?
Substitute the values of a and b.
Values of A, B, A and B. Then
Yes.
we can substitute that value in the 12x square is equal to ax minus b.
Yes. See, a plus 7 is equal to 0. That means a is equal to minus 7.
Minus 7.
Next, b plus 10 is equal to 0. That means b is equal to minus 10. And then you
Minus
substitute a and b in this equation here. You will get a quadratic equation. Solve the quadratic equation. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
You know, they have to try to make it a little more interesting. So they give all like these extra things. But basically, in all of these questions, you're solving the quadratic equation using the factorization method. That means the sum and the product. 18th one is also similar to one of the questions we have done before, but it's easier. Look at it. This is your quadratic equation. 2x plus 3 has a square in it, and this 2x plus 3 does not have a square. What do? Take it as y. We have to think that. But here they already told you. See, they're telling here, use the substitution. Take 2x plus 3 is equal to y. So it's easier because they have told you to put y over here. So what will your quadratic equation become now if you put y? 4y
Sir,
square.
it's question number 7.
Yes,
No,
it's
sixth question.
yeah, it's exactly like the 8th question.
Eighth question.
Yeah, 8th question was like that. Yeah, so what will your quadratic equation become? Aman doesn't know this because he was absent. 4y square minus y minus 14. Numbers are same or what? Numbers are also same.
Yes, sir. All full sum is same.
No, it's 2x minus 3. Here it is 2x plus 3. This was 2x plus 3. There it was 2x minus 3. Okay, anyway, so 19th, not very important. Leave that. Solve the 20th one also. 20th one, binomial into binomial. Try this out. Okay. So your homework is to finish this exercise. We will go to the next part of the chapter, the C part.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now here, what if you're not getting sum and product? Let's look at a question here. Or we'll do one thing. Let's take a normal question that we've solved before, and now we're going to find the values of x, but we're going to use a formula. The formula to find x is minus b plus or minus square root of b square minus 4ac upon 2a. You need to memorize this formula. This is a formula to find the values of x. Okay, so this is the second method to find x. What was the first method that you solved? First method to find x?
Sum and product, and we have to substitute the value.
Sum and product. That is called factorization. The second method to find x is this method. This is called using the formula. Okay. So let us see how to use this formula. So let's go back to the 5b and solve a question that we have already solved. Now let's look at the second question here. Oh, wait. Just come. Okay, let's solve the second question from 5b. So 5b second question is x square minus 10x minus 24 is equal to 0. Now you already know the answer for this. What's the answer for this? 12 or minus 2? Yes.
Minus
Okay, so let us see if you're getting the same answer using this method. Now every quadratic equation is written like this in this form: ax square plus bx plus c is equal to 0. This is the standard form of every quadratic equation, right? So now if you compare this equation with the standard form, what is a, what is b, and what is c? A is what is multiplied with x square. So what is a in this question? There's nothing. That means 1. B is what?
10. Minus 10.
Minus 10. And C is
minus 24.
minus 24. Okay. So we will substitute these values of A, B, and C in our formula. So now our formula x, what will it be? Minus B. B is minus 10. So minus B will be what? Put the values. B is minus 10. So minus B will be what?
Plus 10.
Plus 10. Then plus or minus square root of
Root
b square.
10.
That is minus 10 square minus 4ac. 4 into a. What is a? 1
1
into
minus 20.
minus 24. Substitution. Nothing difficult. Divided by 2a. 2 into
2 into 1.
1. Everyone clear of the substitution?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Yeah, understood? Okay, now we need to solve this. We'll get the value of x. So that is 10
Yes, sir.
plus or minus. Okay, there are two options. Okay, minus 10 square is
100.
100. Minus 4 into 1 into minus 24.
Plus 1.
So 4 into 24 is
No, plus 1.
96. So minus, this is minus into minus,
Plus 96.
plus 96, whole divided by 2.
2.
So that is 10 plus or minus square root of 196 divided by 2. Now what is square root of 196?
14.
14. So x is equal to 10 plus or minus 14 upon 2. Till here it's clear? So now we're going to separate the plus or minus. We have two values. First time x is equal to 10 minus 14 upon 2, or x is equal to 10. Oh, first put plus. 10 plus 14 upon 2 and 10 minus 14 upon 2. You see, we need two values for x, right? Remember, we always need to get two values for x. So one value is with the plus and one value is with the minus. That's why we have the plus or minus. Is that clear?
Now we can add and cut them. So we
this
can
is,
get one value.
yeah, so this is 10 plus 14, that is 24 upon 2,
24.
which is 12.
14. 12.
And here x is equal to 10 minus 14, which is minus 4 upon 2, which is equal to,
Minus 2.
isn't these the two values you got in that question? Did you all understand how to use the formula to solve a quadratic equation? So now, when do we use formula? When do we use the factorization method? Okay, so listen very carefully. Factorization method might be faster if you can figure out the sum and product thing first. Here, do we have to figure out sum and product? No. So here there's no thinking involved. You're just putting the values in the formula, solving it, and you're getting the answer. You see? In that factorization method, you have to, it takes time, no? What is the sum? What is the product? You have to think. So probably the formula method is easier. Yeah? Okay. But you normally don't use formula to solve a quadratic equation. There's only one condition when you will use the formula. You know when is that? When you're not getting the sum and product. Now, why would you not get the sum and product? What if the sum and product is coming as decimal numbers? Can we figure out sum and product? If the, like, let me give you an equation. Okay. A simple equation. Equation looks very simple. Okay. But let's try solving it using the sum and product. This is from the next exercise 3-1.
So
What is
for
exercise?
that question we got the ln as minus 6.
What?
6 minus 4.
With this one? No, it's 12 and minus 2, no?
No, we got 6 and minus 4 by so the sum and product method.
Check it. I think your sum and product part is wrong. Okay. Anyway, just hold on to that thought. You figure that out later on. Look at this third question from exercise C. Read the question, everyone. Solve each of the following equations for x and give in each case your answer correct to two decimal places. You see, you're getting to decimal places. So in this case, your answer, the x values are going to come in decimal. Now, when it comes in decimal places, you cannot solve this using the factorization method. That factorization method can only be used if your x values are whole numbers or integers or even fractions, but not decimal places. Let's try. Let's see if you're able to solve it. Okay. Question 3-1. 2x square minus 10x plus 5 is equal to 0. Okay. So what is the sum and product here? Sum is minus 10. Product is plus 10. Aman doesn't know. You know this? Okay. Can we figure out two numbers that satisfies these values? Sum is minus 10. Product is plus 10.
Plus 5 minus 5.
Plus 5 minus 5?
Minus 1.
5 into 5 is 25. No. You need to get 10. It's not this. What?
Plus 11 minus
See, Nathan, you have to multiply those two numbers and get 10 also, no?
yeah.
You won't get any number. Those of you who are good at this step, you will realize that how much ever you try, you won't get any two numbers. Those of you who are a little confused, you'll try giving out numbers. So did you all realize that there's no two numbers possible to get this, right?
That's the case in the question I asked you in multiple question in the 5B, 1E.
No,
The same quadratic equation we did. Yeah.
you're not getting two numbers, you're saying.
Yeah, we're not getting two numbers.
You should get. Wait, I thought we did that. Didn't we do that? 1E. Yeah, but didn't we solve it and get an answer for it? No? Okay. We didn't solve it. Okay, let's try to solve it. And yes, so probably it's that, but I don't know why they gave that in 5B. Maybe they don't want you to solve it. They just want you to use your logic and figure out the answer that it is not one of those three.
Yes.
Okay. Where's it gone? Question is gone. Anyway, did you realize that this third question cannot be solved using the normal factorization method? Yeah. So that is when we use the formula. Okay. So use the formula for this question, everyone. 3, 1. Two x square minus 10x plus 5. Your formula is what? Anyone memorized it? X is equal to minus b plus or minus
Minus b plus
square root of b square
b square
minus
4ac
upon
divided by 2a.
2a. Okay. So here, do this question 3, 1. First you write what is A, what is B, what is C. Okay.
Square root of 1a.
Did you come to any roadblock? So this is what you're supposed to get. X is equal to minus b. That means 10 plus or minus square root of minus 10 whole square. What? B square minus 4 into 2 into 5. Correct? Upon 2 into a. That's 2 into 2. No. What am I? Okay, so x is equal to 10 plus or minus square root of 10 square, that's 100, minus 5 2s are 10, 10 4s are 40 upon 4. So x is equal to 10 plus or minus square root of 60 upon 4. Now you see a problem here. You don't know the square root of 60 because 60 is not a perfect square. So what do you do over here? You have to find the square root of 60. That is the problem in this question. Okay. How do you find the square root of 60? You have the long division method. Okay. So you're at 60.0000. Actually, you're supposed to write. See, this is. Do you all remember how to do square root of this using this method? No? Forgot? We have learned this in some other class. I don't know when. I think 9th or 8th. I don't know if I taught you. Did I teach you?
Yes, sir. 9th only.
In 9th you had it. Okay. So how do you solve this now?
Yes, sir.
So you have to group numbers in groups of 2s. Okay. Each group that you make, For each group that you make, you will get one number on top. So now we made one. See, for this you'll get one number here, then the point, then here you have three groups, which means you'll get 3 digits. Okay, that's your answer. The question says what? Correct your answer to 2 decimal places, which means you need 3 decimal places. Only then you can correct it to 2 decimal places. So you have to put 6 zeros after the point. Then only you'll get 3 decimal places. Only then you can correct it to 2 decimal places. Is that clear, everyone? Okay, so how do we start? So dash into dash will give you 60. Two same numbers. What into what will give you 60? Same numbers. Both the numbers should be same. 7 sevens are? 8 eights are? So 64 is bigger, no? So we can't take 8 eights. We have to take 7 sevens are. It has to be smaller, no? Understood? 7 sevens are 49. Put a line like this. Subtract 60 minus 49 is 11. Now here, after the point, so you put a point on top and bring down the next set of numbers, that is the 2 zeros. On the left side here, the number that you just wrote, you write it once again and add those two. So 7 plus 7 is 14, and you put a dash next to it. This is your first step. Now you have to fill in this blank with a number. That same number you put here, you have to put that number on top also. For example, if you put a 3, suppose I put 143, here also I have to put a 3. So 143 into 3. You should get 1100, close to 1100. So what should you put here so that you get close to 1100? You can try 145 into 5, or you can try 146 into 6, or you can try 147 into 7. You understand? Those are your options. Whatever comes closest to 1100. So let's try this. 6 6 are 36, 6 4s are 24, that's 27, 6 1s are 6 7 8. Okay, is that close enough? No. Let's try 7 7s are 49, 7 4s are 28, that's 32. 7 1s are 7 plus 3, 1029. Okay, that's close enough. 1029. So that's what you'll have to put. 147 into 7 is 1029. Subtract this, so that is how much? 71. Bring down the next set of numbers, that is 0 0. Here what we'll do, this number that you just wrote 7, write it again and add these two. 147 plus 7 is how much? 154. Put a dash. This is the end of second step. You will do this again. So 154 something into that same number, you should get 7000. See, there's a small hint in this. Cut off the last 2 digits. Cut off the last 2 digits here. So what you have is 15, and here you have 71. So 15 into how much is 70? 71. Approximately we're going. 15 into how much is 71? 15 fives are 75. Okay, that's going bigger. So probably we have to put what? 4s are. Okay, so let's try that. So 154, 4 into 4. Understand? We're trying the 4. So 4 4s are 16, 4 4s are 16 plus 1 17, 4 5s are 20 plus 1 21, 4 1s are 4 plus 2 6. Yeah, you see that is the closest here. So 1544 into 4 is 6176. You see, it's a little complex, right? It's taking time. We cut the 7, 6, put 1, 11, cut the 1, put 10, cut the 10, put 9, put 1. 10 minus 6, 4. 9 minus 7, 2. 10 minus 1, 9. Next set of zeros, 0, 0. Here what you'll do? Put this 4 again, add. So that's 1, 5, 4, 8 with a dash. Understood? Okay, so again here what we'll do, we'll cut off 3 numbers and 3 numbers to make it easy. So 15 into how much is 92? 5 sir? 6 sir?
We can take 6 are 90.
It's probably 6. Okay, enough. Don't continue. We got our 3 digits. Okay, so now we'll continue with our calculation here. Okay, so this sum will take some time because of this finding square root. You see how we got decimal numbers? That's why we were not able to use the first method. So plus or minus 7.7746. If you round it up, what will it become? 75 divided by 4. So you have two values for x. One is 10 plus 7.75 upon 4. The other one is 10 minus 7.75 upon 4. Clear everyone how to solve this? So continue this, you'll get two values for x. Okay, just rejoin the meeting, all of you. Write this down. Complete this.
That number of the
What?
left side the number of long division method. That's a particular.
1548 and then the dash was 6. Do you know how to divide 17.75 with 4, everyone? When there's a point, how to divide? See, so 4 fours are 16, remainder 1. Now you're bringing down 7. 7 is after the point, no? So what do? You put the point on top and bring down 7. Okay? So 4 fours are 16 again, 1, bring down 5. So 4 threes are 12, remainder 3, put a 0. You can see, keep putting zeros. Bring down numbers. When there's no number to bring down, you put a 0. And then 4 sevens are 28. Okay. So 4.437. So when you round it off, it will become 4.44. This is first value for x. Check the answer behind everyone, see if it's correct. Brother, you keep the phone like this. Oh no, it's too low. It's coming. So you have to do so much to get it though. Do the next one by yourself. You can do that later on. Go home, complete it. This homework will take you at least 1 or 2 hours. Spend that much time at home, especially Leah and Aman, Nathan, Gloria. Exercise 5C, question 2 and 3. Right, Hamid, you can leave the meeting then. Right, you're done. Okay, you all note down the homework 2, 4, 2, 3. Yes, there are totally 4 questions that you have to solve. Okay, I'll see you in the next class then. Bye, everyone.
Enough 5B also, no?
5B, 5A, 5B, and 5C. If you have not done 5A and 5B, please do those. And then 5C. Okay, see you. Okay, let's solve question 3, second one. 4x plus 6 upon x plus 13 is equal to 0.
Now I got the third second one.
You got 3 second one? Who didn't get this?
Mm,
You only would have done some natak through stone or something.
No, I think the owner was working to dog, and then he buy that was not some small dog, it was like bugger, like system that that built all day. The weekend dog, people died. That created.
Should pet it, brother.
I ran near that signal and
Okay, this Ahmed is having some problems. Okay. Here, the second one, what is the quadratic equation that you got? If you simplified this, did you simplify this and get a proper quadratic equation in terms of ax squared plus bx plus c? What is the equation that you got? No one did 3 to what? You didn't do only. Why?
Plus 13x plus 6.
Wait, say that again.
4x square plus 13x plus 6 is equal to 0.
Yeah, this is what you'll get. The way what you're doing is you're just multiplying x with all the terms. Okay, like the shortcut is how you multiply this x over here, multiply this x over here. So that will be 4x square plus 6 plus 13x whole upon x. That x, when you take and multiply to the right 0, you'll get this 4x square plus 13x plus 6 is equal to 0. All right. Then you put this in the formula, and I don't know why you should not get it. If you put it, you should get it. If you didn't get it, that means you didn't do it only, right? Is there anyone who tried doing it and did not get it? Tell me the formula, Aman. X is equal without looking. X is equal to
minus b minus b minus no plus or minus 4ab root 4ab b minus 4ab upon
4ab AC upon
2b.
one day is not enough to learn one small equation. 2a. Just sit one for 30 seconds. You keep staring at it, you learn it. You don't need one whole day to learn it. Okay. All right. So let's just solve it. X is equal to minus 13 plus or minus square root of 13 square minus 4 into 6 upon 2 into 4. That's minus 13 plus or minus 169 minus 4 4s are 16. 16 into 6, 80, 96. 96 upon 8. So x is equal to minus 13 plus or minus square root of 169 minus 96 is
73.
73. Okay. 73 upon 8. All right. So you have to do square root of 73. Okay. Now some of you had a doubt. How do you do square root of a 3-digit number? Okay. Now what is a 3-digit number, Beryl? 160. Okay. See 160. Now you have to make groups of 2s. How do you group this 160? Should we group it as 60 and 0? Or should we group it as 1 and 60? Okay. See, the rule is like this. Okay. So you put zeros, and from the point you're grouping, from the point. So from the point to the left, make groups of 2s. So the 6 and 0 is one group, and then this 1 is alone. Same way from the point to the right, 2, 2, and so on. Okay. So when you're grouping the numbers in groups of 2s, you have to start from the point and move outwards. Is that clear, everyone? Okay. So 73. Let's do square root of 73 for this question. So 73 and put 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Okay, we need 6 zeros to get 3 decimal places. Okay, how do we start, Haman?
Group by group.
Yeah, okay. Then first
A number into number. 8 into 8 into 8 into
8 8s are 64. Remainder 9. Put the point, bring the 2 zeros down. Here you add the 8, 16 with a dash. So 1 6. So now you can remember the hint I gave you. Cut off the last digit, last digit. Keep only 2 digits. So 16 into how much is 90? How much is with 5? All of you do this along with me. If you didn't do it. Talk. Fly. 13 to 8, that's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It will be 4 point minus 4.46 upon 8. Minus 21.54 upon 8.
Now the first one is minus 4.456, not 46.
I used 5, 4. So if it's 5, 4, it should be 4, 6. Because 54 plus 46.
Even I got minus 4.46.
Yeah, 4.46, no?
Yes, and
What did you take here? 8.54 or you took 8.544?
8.544.
Just take 2 decimal places. Because the question says correct to 2 decimal places. So that should be enough. See, Nathan, yours is more accurate. That's all. It's not wrong. Because you have taken 1 extra decimal place, it's a little more accurate. So keep doing that if you want. And then last answer, you round it up to 2 decimal places.
Minus 0.56 and minus 2.69.
5, okay. 46 plus 0, 5. Yeah. So x is minus 0.56. You round it up. 5.557 if you round it up. 0.56.
are we supposed to have like 3 numbers after the decimal point or only 4? Because I didn't take 7. I just took 5, 5. So I got 0.55 minus 0.
You need to round it up to 2 decimal places. So which means you need 3 decimal places like this. Then you can round it up to 2.
Okay.
2.69. Correct? Is that the answer? Behind 5, 6 and 2.69? Yes. Okay. Okay, we are moving on to the next topic. Solve as many as questions as you can from 5C. The more you can solve, the faster you'll get at the sums. Okay. We're going to the next part of this chapter. The next part of this chapter is called nature of roots. Anyway, now nature of roots. First of all, what is the meaning of this roots? All right. So look here. What's the meaning of this word roots of an equation? I told this in the first class. What's the meaning of roots of an equation? The values of x. The final values of x. How many values do you get for x? 2. Those 2 values of x are called the 2 roots of the equation. Is that clear, everyone?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Now, the type of question in 5D is, look at the question. Without solving, comment upon the what? Nature of roots of each of the following equations. Now, what do you mean by nature of roots? Nature of roots means, like for example, what is the properties of the 2 values of x? That's what they mean. Nature of the values of x. Now I'll give you an example. Let's look at the formula. X is equal to what? Tell me, Aman. Formula. Minus b.
Minus b plus
4b square plus 4ac
B square
plus 4
plus 4ac.
plus 4
plus or minus?
Yeah.
minus 4ac.
You're confusing me now, man. B square minus 4ac upon 2a. Okay. Now this is the formula to find what? Listen carefully, it's a little confusing. This is the formula to find what? X. X means the roots, right?
Root
Now the values of x depends on what, you know? It depends of what is under this root. Now what's under this root? We have b square minus 4ac. Okay. Now just listen very carefully and think and answer. What if this value b square minus 4? We'll do one thing. We'll call this b square minus 4ac as the discriminant. Okay, this is represented by the alphabet capital D, and D is called discriminant. Okay, so when I use the word discriminant, I'm referring to this section here, b square minus 4ac. Okay, now tell me what would happen to x, that is the roots of the equation, if the discriminant was 0. If the discriminant is 0, what is the nature of the roots? How the roots will be? Think. This root is becoming 0. So now when we split the values of x, one time we take plus, one time we take 0, right? I mean, one time we take plus, one time we take minus. So in the first time you're doing something plus 0. And second time you're doing something minus 0. So when you plus 0 or minus 0, what will be the 2 values of x? They'll be the same. Because in one case you're adding 0, in one case you're minusing 0. That will not make any difference for x. Both the values of x will be same. Are you getting me or not, everyone? If the discriminant is 0, the roots will be equal. Did you understand this, everyone? Means both the values of x will be the same. For example, 2 plus 0 is what? And 2 minus 0? 2. So you're getting the same values for x. Okay? So that is the first condition. Any doubt in this, anyone? Okay, second case, what if the discriminant is negative? That means if discriminant is less than 0. Think now. I'll just come in a minute. Think what will happen if discriminant is less than 0.
linear equation.
Yes, sir. What's on the laptop? Oh, what? Where is it? Where?
So can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. There's a big fly flying around here. Okay. So I'm sitting with a bat. Okay. Tell me what happens if the discriminant is less than 0? That means it's negative. What will happen if there's a square root with a negative value inside? It will be different, yes, but before,
Imaginary.
yes, you don't have any negative value under the roots. What is root of minus something? Can you have square root of a negative number? What is square root of 4? Minus 4. What is square root of minus 4? 2, are you sure? Plus 2. I can hear you. Amit, don't shout, but are you sure it is 2?
No. It can be minus of 4.
My question is, what is the value of square root of minus 4? Okay, let me clarify. I just told this yesterday, day before, no? What is square root of 4, everyone?
Minus of 4.
It could be plus 2 also, it could be minus 2 also. Right? Why? Because 2 square is how much? 4. And minus 2 square is how much?
4.
4.
4.
Right. So square root of 4 is either plus 2 or minus 2. That's what we've been using also, no? So many times for quadratic equation. So is there a square root for minus 4?
Plus 2 or minus 2?
How you'll get minus 4, man? Tell me what into what is minus 4? What square is minus 4? Tell me.
Minus 4 square.
Minus?
Minus 4 square, I think will get you.
Minus 4 square is minus 4.
Yes.
Minus 4 square is 16, no?
Oh, yeah.
What square is 4 minus 4? Come on.
Minus 4 square is 16.
I'm asking you what square equal to minus 4? Okay, what square is 4, Aman? 2 square is 4. So is there any square that will give you minus 4? Clear? No, right? You cannot get minus 4. So minus 4 does not have a square root. In fact, no negative number has a square root. So a square root of a negative number is imaginary. Is that clear, everyone? That number does not even exist. It is unreal or imaginary. Okay, so write that down. If d is less than 0, the roots of the equation are imaginary. Yeah. First you wrote if d is equal to 0, the roots are equal. Next is if d is less than 0. Is it here? If d is less than 0, the roots are imaginary. That is your second statement. Aman, you should mute your mic. I can hear all your children speaking. Aman, Ahmed. Okay, you all rejoin the meeting. Okay, so what we've understood here is what? If the discriminant is less than 0, what does it mean? The roots are what? The roots are imaginary.
Imaginary.
Okay. And now the normal case, that's what you always get. Mostly in all the questions that you got, what was the discriminant? Was it less than 0 or greater than 0? It was greater than 0, no? Like previously, just now, what was the discriminant in the question that we just solved? Here, what is the discriminant here? 73. That 73 is the discriminant, right? So here in this case, it is positive. Okay. Now, when it is positive, you have two options. Sometimes it's a perfect square. For example, what if it is square root of 9? Then what you'll do if it's square root of 9? What is square root of 9? 3. You see? So if you get a perfect square as the discriminant, then your x will be a rational number.
Yeah.
Understand? And what if your discriminant is not a perfect square? then you'll get an irrational number. Square root of any number that's not a perfect square will be an irrational number. See the answer we got here, 8.544. This number is an irrational number. What's the meaning of an irrational number? Come on, 9th standard divided chapter. First chapter was rational and irrational numbers. What was the meaning of an irrational number? Anyone? You know how to get an irrational number? Take a square root of any non-perfect square. Any number that's not a perfect square. For example, 9 is a perfect square. Okay, so don't take 9. Is 10 a perfect square? No. So do square root of 10. Look at this. What's the answer? Look at this number. Does it ever stop? It's non-recurring and non-terminating. Those are the two conditions for a irrational number. Non-recurring means what? The numbers don't repeat. You don't see a pattern that's repeating. And non-terminating means what? It never ends. On my calculator, it ended over here because that much only the calculator can show here. But if you keep doing, it will never end. Such a number that is non-recurring and non-terminating is what? It's an irrational number. Okay. So how do you get an irrational number? By doing square root of a non-perfect square. Is that clear, everyone? All right. So square root of 73. That's what we did here. Square root of 73. This number is an irrational number. Okay. What about square root of 9? Rational. Square root of 16? Rational. Square root of 20? Irrational. Is that clear, everyone? So that is the next condition here. If d is greater than 0, then you have two options. Okay. First option is if it's a perfect square, then what? What is the properties? It is rational. You can say real and rational. Real and rational. And if it is not a perfect square, yeah, real and irrational. See, every number is, how are numbers divided? See, this was imaginary. All the numbers in the world, numbers are divided into two categories. What are the two categories? You know the two categories? Real and unreal. Okay. So what is an unreal number? Unreal means imaginary. See, we got an imaginary number here. How did you get an imaginary number? Square root of a negative number, -4. This is an unreal number, right? Now, real numbers are divided into two categories. What are the two categories? Rational and irrational. Did you understand this? Okay. So, irrational number is something like square root of 5, and rational is like square root of 4. Or even any fraction is also rational, 2/3 or 0.7. You know, any decimal, any fraction, all of these are rational numbers. What is irrational? Square root of a non-perfect, non-perfect square? Yeah, non-perfect square. Okay, just write down this part here. You need to know what are the meaning of these words. Unreal. Unreal is also called as imaginary. Just write down this on the side and also fill in this. Perfect square means real and rational. Non-perfect square means real and irrational. Coming back, did you understand what is nature of roots, everyone? So nature of roots, if the question is something like this, without solving, comment upon the nature of roots of the following equations. You don't have to solve this quadratic equation. How do you find out the nature of the roots is? You just have to find the discriminant. What is the discriminant, everyone? You're not solving the whole thing. You're only solving the b square minus 4ac part. You're not solving the quadratic equation. You're not getting the values of x. What we're solving is only the discriminant, and we're checking whether the discriminant is either equal to 0, less than 0, or greater than 0. Based on that, you can comment upon the nature of the roots. If the discriminant is equal to 0, you will say the roots are equal. Let's see in your textbook how it is written, because I don't want to change anything based. I don't have that. 1 minute. How is look in your books, how is it given? This is an old book, so I want to see in your books how it is given exactly. See here how it is given. This is the older book. I think it might be the same in your book. Look at the options here. See if the discriminant is, what is the discriminant here? It's negative. See here the discriminant came minus 104. So what is the nature of the roots? The roots are not real. That is, the roots are imaginary. That's what we have written, right? Roots are imaginary. Then second example, here the discriminant came 0. So what do you write if it's 0? The roots are real and equal. See, we just wrote roots are equal. So you change that, right? Roots are real and equal. It's a real number, right? You get two same numbers, but they're real. They're not unreal. Only if its discriminant is less than 0, the roots are unreal. If the discriminant is 0 or greater than 0, the roots are real. So right here, real and equal. Share book. And for the third option, that is if the discriminant is greater than 0, I gave you two options. I said if it's a perfect square, then it is real and rational. If it's not a perfect square, it is real and irrational. But in your book, they have not mentioned separately for perfect square and non-perfect square. They just wrote one option, that is real and unequal. Unequal means you'll have two different values for x. Okay, so it's not compulsory to mention whether it is rational or irrational. You're just mentioning that the roots are real and unequal. Is that clear, everyone? Okay, so let us solve one question of this type now. Exercise 5D, question 2-1.
Now the roots are real and unequal.
Yeah, just write real and unequal if discriminant is greater than 0. We don't need to mention about the rational or irrational. Okay, so this is a question. It's a quadratic equation. The question is, comment upon the nature of the roots. So just find the discriminant. Discriminant is b square minus 4ac. Do only that much and tell me what the discriminant is.
Now you don't have to put it under the root, right? Or
No.
do we?
Not under the root, without the root.
The question will be only 25 or 5 to 25, right?
25. So discriminant is 25. Right. So now what is the roots? Nature of the roots? Therefore, roots are. Come on, discriminant is greater than 0, no? So what is a
Real
real and
and
equal? If you want to be more accurate, then you should say what? Real, rational, and unequal. Is rational also now, no? Because 25 is a perfect square. Okay, but this much is enough. Real and unequal. Do the last one, 2-4. 48, everyone? What's the nature of the root? Okay, before that, did you all understand how to do 2 root 3 whole square? Okay,
Yes, sir.
you're doing 2 square, which is 4, and root 3 square, which is 3. So 4 into 3, that is 12. Okay,
Well,
all right. So tell me the nature of the roots. Real. Irrational is optional because it's and unequal. Clear, everyone?
Yes.
Real and unequal.
Yeah. Okay, now a slight modification in the question. Look at question number 4. Find the value of m if the following equation has equal roots. So now here they're telling you that the roots are equal. What does it mean? What is 0? Yes, the roots are equal. Therefore, the discriminant equal to 0. So they're telling you that the discriminant is 0. That means what? That means b square minus 4ac is equal to 0. Okay. Now look at your equation. What is a, what is b, what is c? Fourth question. M minus 2. Oh, it's not fitting it. The equation is very big here. M minus 2
Is
x square
minus
minus 5 plus m into x plus 16 is equal to 0. Okay. So what is a over here? M minus 2. What is b? Minus 5 plus m. There's a minus outside, no? That is also b. And c is 16. Okay. So now we substitute these values over here. Now this minus 5 plus m, you remove the bracket. So what will it become?
five plus m square
What? What is b?
minus 5 square.
Minus 5 minus m. Because if you put that minus and multiply it with everything inside, minus 5 and minus m it will become. Okay. So that is your value of b. So now put that values in your formula. So b square means minus 5 minus m whole square. Okay. But you know one good thing is when you do whole square, that minus is going to become plus anyway. Because minus into minus will be plus.
Yeah.
When you do b square, no? So that means minus 5 minus m whole square is same as 5 plus m whole square. These two will be the same. See, because we have learnt identity for a plus b whole square. Have we learnt identity for minus a minus b whole square? Do we know any identity minus a minus b whole square? No. What all identities we know? We know a plus b whole square, and we also know a minus b whole square. We don't know minus a minus b. We can figure it out, but we don't know that as we don't know a formula for it, right? So what we'll do, this we can write it like this. Leave it in the first form itself. That is minus 5 plus m and this whole thing whole square. You understand? So basically what's going to happen is it's going to turn into 5 plus m whole square. That's b square. Because of that, this minus noise, when it's square, it will turn into plus. Okay. All right. So this is your b square. So b square minus 4 into a is what? M minus 2 into c is what? 16 equal to 0. So now we solve this equation and we find m. Okay, write it down.
So do we get a quadratic equation?
Yes, Aman. Ahmed, you are right. What do you realize from here? You're getting a quadratic equation because of that square. When you apply the a plus b whole square for the 5 plus m whole square, m becomes m square. So you'll end up getting a quadratic equation. So like this in one second, you should be able to apply the whole square formula without doing a square plus 2ab You don't have time for all that. In your mind only you have to calculate and write. Next, minus 4m plus 8 into 16. No? See here, no, this can be a little confusing. So what you do is, first you multiply the 16 with this 4. So that will be minus,
minus 64m plus 128.
and then I'm putting the m minus 2 here. Okay. In the next step, I will write this as minus 64m plus 128. Did you write plus 128 or minus 128, Nathan?
Minus
Plus 128.
128.
It will be plus 128.
How do you get
Ah,
Yes,
900. 800. See, now if I explain that, now we lose a lot of time. The formula is a square plus 2ab plus b square. That's why. So 2ab means 2 into 5 into m. That's 10m. You know?
Yes.
Okay. Anyway, good you asked, but next time don't ask. You should remember this.
M square minus 54m plus 153.
153, no? 152.
No, 153 only.
Okay. This is your quadratic equation. Both minus, okay.
Okay, so both minus.
Yeah, minus 51 and minus 3.
So m minus 51 and n minus 3. So m is equal to 3 and m is equal to 51.
Yes.
It should be 3 or 51 or 3 and 51.
Or. Quadratic always or. Yeah, or okay. Don't add and. Anyone?
Yes.
Okay, so even though this part was not supposed to use a quadratic equation, the question is what? Find, like, use the discriminant, which means you're not supposed to solve it. But eventually what happened? Your discriminant became a quadratic equation. And then you have to again use quadratic equation to solve it. You saw that? So like this, sometimes the questions can be, okay? Now, I'll just explain, like the remaining questions is your homework. Okay, 5D is your homework. We need to have a test in maths. I think we have 2 chapters pending already in maths to have a test. Okay, reflection and what is before
Linear
reflection?
inequality.
Linear inequation. What we didn't do 4th chapter test. What we had test was on matrices and
Remainder and factor theorem we did.
okay, remainder and factor theorem we finished. So we need to have that test. So we'll do one thing. We should have had the test. So now we're almost done with this 3rd chapter. So we'll finish off this chapter, I'll tell you, and then we'll have a test of all the 3 chapters together. Okay? 3 chapters test. Or what to do? Okay, do 3 chapters. You have a lot of time now. Okay, let me explain to you the 6th question. All of you listen to the 6th question. Given that 2 is the root of the equation, that means what? What do you mean? 2 is the root of the equation. X is equal to 2. The value of x is 2. That's one of the roots. Normally every equation has 2 roots. So they've given one of the answers. And they've given the equation here, 3x square minus p into x plus 1 is equal to 0. And that the equation, the second one, has equal roots. Find the values of p and q. So there are 2 separate equations over here. First is what? Given that 2 is the root of this equation, first equation. And for the second equation, what we know is they have equal roots. Find the values of p and q. Yeah, so you'll have to make 2 equations and simultaneously solve them because you have p and q. But how do we solve the first equation?
to find the value of p.
Okay, how do you find the value of p from the first equation?
We find x.
How will find x? In the first equation, we have x. They've given 2 is the root of the equation. That is x. So what you do is you just substitute that 2 in place of x. And then p will be the only missing value. Right, everyone?
Yes, sir.
So you can find p. Okay, so you got the value of p. Now from the second equation, what we know is that the second equation has equal roots. What does that mean? Equal roots means what? Come on, Aman, tell me. D is equal to 0.
Choose the second equation also x value is 2.
No. Second equation x is not 2. That x is 2 is only for the first equation. From the second equation, what we have is the discriminant is 0. We have b square minus 4ac is equal to 0. So in this equation, you substitute the value of a, b, and c. What is a? A is p. What is b? Minus q. What is c? 9. So substitute those values over here and you'll get an equation. The missing value is p and q. Right. Now p already you have found it. Put that value of p in this equation. And then q is the missing value. You can find q. Lot of, doing a lot of things here, but it's not very difficult. If you understand the question, you can solve it. Okay.
Anna, so we have to substitute that to the first.
Wait.
We
Two
can
of you
even
speak.
take
One
it
more time.
to-
Gloria, what? Who's that? Anna, tell.
Anna, so in the second equation, we can write that p is equals to 2.
Yes, because both the p's are same. P is p only. X is not same in both the equations. Both the equations have 2 different values for x. But the p and q is the same alphabet. So even though the equations are different, it's the same p. Okay. So what
we
p
can
you,
use
yes, you can use the p you got in the first equation in the second equation because it's p. It's the same alphabet. Ahmed, what were you asking?
for
For this question, we have to use summation.
In which one? In sixth one?
Fifth one.
Fifth. Yes. Fifth is what we did, no? No, we didn't do. Find the value of k for which equation this has distinct and real roots. Okay. See, for the fifth question, here how are the roots?
Distinct and real.
Distinct and real. In other words, the discriminant is greater than 0. Okay. So you'll put b square minus 4ac is greater than 0. So you won't get a linear equation or a quadratic equation. You'll get a linear inequation because of the greater than over here. You understand, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Just substitute the values of a, b, and c over here, and you'll get a linear inequation. All right. So try out these questions for tomorrow. Tomorrow, no choir practice or anything, right? What? What year? You have? What time? So we'll have tuition earlier tomorrow then. Okay. What time is your practice? 5:30. So tuition will be from 4. Okay. I'll send you a message on the group. But as of now, remember, tomorrow's tuition is at 4 o'clock. Okay, everyone?
Yes, sir.
All right then. Finish 5D as your homework. See you all. Bye, everyone. Okay, question number 6. Given that 2 is the root of the equation 3x square minus p into x plus 1 is equal to 0. Okay, so for that equation 3x square minus p into x plus 1 equal to 0, 2 is the root of the equation, which means x value is 2. So substitute x in this, we'll get 3 into 2 square minus p into 1 plus 1 is equal to 0, right? Did I miss something? No.
2 plus 1.
Yeah, 2
I
plus.
thought we should. And I thought we should substitute p.
Roots of the equation means the value of x, no? So they've given the roots of the equation means they gave the value of x. Okay, so we put the value of x. Aman, which one you did?
Minus 1.
Which one? Continuing to solve.
Minus 2, 5.
So many are there.
Yes.
2 all you did?
I did on Friday, but tuition was not there. Then I continued with assignments.
And then today tuition is there.
No problem. No.
Okay, so after solving this first equation, we get the value of p. Is this clear? Any doubt in this? Why did you get some other value? Oh, you put a p. You put value of p as 2.
I get minus 2p minus 1.
Minus 3p it will be, right? Minus 2p minus p. Okay, so we got the value of p. Now, second equation is px square minus qx plus 9 is equal to 0. This equation has equal roots. Equal roots means what? What's the meaning of equal? X values are? X values are equal. The discriminant is when we saw the nature of roots. When do we get equal roots? If the discriminant is, come on, Aman. You need to remember what you studied in the last class. You can't just come fresh with a completely new mind for the. We're continuing what we did in the last class. We learned nature of roots. Okay, and if the discriminant is 0, that means what? Like plus minus 0 plus plus 0 minus 0. You'll get the same values for x. So the nature of root is what? If d is 0, what does it mean?
Equal.
The roots are equal. So here they said the roots are equal, which means what? Therefore, discriminant is 0. Right. Now, what's the formula for discriminant? B square minus 4ac. That is 0. Now, in place of a, b, and c, you substitute the values from here. Okay, your equation is what? Equation is px square. In place of p, we can put the value of p. We just got p. Right. So tell me the equation now. 4x square minus qx plus 9 is equal to 0. This is your equation. Now in this equation, what is a, what is b, what is c? A is 4, b is minus q, and c is plus 9. Correct? Put these values in this formula. So b square means minus q square minus 4 into a into c is equal to 0. This is your equation. So that is q square minus 144. Four fours are 16. 16 into 9. How do you do 16 into 9? For 16 into 9, I do 16 into 10 first. And I minus 16. Correct? How do you do 16 into 9? First you do 16 into 10. That is 160. And then you minus 16. No, you're going backwards. 16, 16. The multiples of 16 are all have a difference of 16. So 160 minus 16 is 144. That's how you do into 9. Okay. So that's minus 144 is equal to 0. So q square is equal to, take 144 on that side. It will become plus 144. It's a quadratic equation without a q term. Only q square and number term. So it's very easy, no? Just move that. No sum and product. So q is equal to what? Plus or minus 12. So we got the values of p and q. P is 4 and q is plus or minus 12. Clear, everyone? See, it's about understanding the question. This is like a word problem. Not just solving an equation. It's understanding the question and solving the equation. Let's read this question once again and just see what we did. Given that 2 is the root of the equation, this one, and that the equation, second equation, has equal roots. Find the value of p and q. So for the first equation, what was given, everyone? That means the value of x is 2. So we substitute the value of x as 2, and the only missing value was p. We got p. Now for the second equation, what we know is that the values of x are equal, which means the discriminant is equal to 0. And now p and q are two missing values, but we already found p, right? So we substituted that value of p in the second equation. Now the only missing value is q, and x also is there. So now since we know that the discriminant is 0, that is b square minus 4ac is equal to 0, we substituted the values of a, b, and c in this, and then the only missing value is q. We got a quadratic equation. We solved q, and we got the value of q. Okay, the ones who did it, is this the answer you got? Who all solved this? Nathan, you said you solved this, no?
Yes.
Did you get this answer? Did you do it this way?
Yeah, yes, kind of that way, but my process was a little short. I'll send you a picture.
Okay, send. Okay, those of you who didn't finish, write this down and then whatever doubt is that, ask me. Who didn't get the fourth one?
Anna,
Fourth, what is the doubt? You haven't, you solved it?
Couldn't understand it.
Equal roots. So again, discriminant is 0. You did the fourth orientation. So b square minus 4ac is equal to 0. Put the value of a, b, and c in that equation. A is m minus 2. Yeah, I remember doing this. B is minus 5 plus m. And c is 16. So put those values of a, b, and c in b square minus 4ac is equal to 0. And m is the missing value, you can find. Who didn't get the fifth one? Nathan, or who said you didn't get the fifth? You didn't get
the fourth. I got the fifth one.
Okay. Fourth, you understood? I just explained the fourth. We did the fourth in the last class, actually.
Yes.
Anna, what did you send me?
Oh, the sixth question. This one,
No, you put, in place of p, you put 2. So that is wrong. In place of x, you have to put 2, right? Okay.
Anna, what is the answer of fifth one?
If m is a quadratic, what's the answer of sixth one?
No, fifth one.
Fifth, I don't know. What is the answer of fifth one?
Less than 3. A is less than 3.
Less than 3. K is less than 3. Fifth one, did you all get k is less than 3? Like this?
I got K is equal to 3.
How equal to? Because see, distinct and real roots means the discriminant is greater than 0. That's how you start off. You write discriminant is greater than 0. That means b square minus 4ac is greater than 0. And then you put the values in this equation. So you'll get an equation only. You won't get equal to. There's no equal to at all in this equation.
Anna, when are we having the test?
Yes, once you're done with this chapter. Is this the last?
This week?
Yeah, this week. This week we'll have the test. I think Wednesday is enough. Oh no, we'll have it on Thursday. Test will be on Thursday because you have 3 chapters test in math. What are the 3 chapters?
4.
4, 5.
Tell me the name of the chapters.
Linear equation.
Hmm.
Quadratic.
Reflection
Reflection.
and quadratic. Okay, 3 chapters test. It will be on Thursday. No taking absentee on Thursday. Don't be absent on Thursday. Okay, now the E part is all a little more complicated questions, mostly what they don't ask. Okay, like you're using whatever you learned in the previous exercises and just making it more complex. But till D is what you need to know. That is the question that you'll have in your exam. And that is the whole logic. Means whatever you have to learn, you already learned it till D. This is just little more extra questions. We can solve maybe 1 or 2 questions from here. Okay, look at question 6.
डुक्कर के बच्चे काले काले.
Okay, so here, what to do here? See, what's in the bracket is not the same. Here you have x square plus 1 upon x square, and here you have x plus 1 upon x. What to do here? Suppose you take we should take y as something, no? When we have the same thing repeating twice, we should take y as that repeating part. But here it's not the same also. We can't have x is already used. We can't take x now. If you take the square outside also, it won't help. You won't get x plus 1 upon x whole square. Because x plus 1 upon whole x square, if you expand it, you'll have it's a plus b whole square formula. So it's a square plus b square plus you have the 2ab also. So these two are not the same. Okay, x square plus 1 upon x square cannot be written as x plus 1 upon x whole square. Because x plus 1 upon x whole square, if you expand, what do you get? X square plus 1 upon x square plus 2. Last year we had this chapter called factorization or expansions. Right, this is in the form of a square plus b square plus 2ab. 2ab means 2 into x into 1 upon x. So that x and x will get cut. So it's just this much. Okay, so they're not the same. So what we have to do here is,
X plus 1 upon x is going to
yeah, just take x plus 1 upon x as y. Now find what is y square. We already, yeah, we just did it here. X square plus 1 upon x square plus 2. That is your y square. Right. So what is this now?
Y square.
No, y square has the plus 2 also. So what we'll do is, we'll minus 2 from both the sides. So y square minus 2 will be what? X square plus 1 upon x square plus 2 minus 2. We're doing minus 2. We're applying minus 2 on both the sides. Minus 2, minus 2. So that way, y square minus 2 will be what? X square plus 1 upon x square. See, this is your, you can put this value. In place of x square plus 1 upon x square, you can substitute y square minus 2. Clear?
Yeah.
So now what will your equation become? 9 into this whole thing becomes what?
9 square minus 18.
Yeah, next step will rather. Minus 9 into this x plus 1 upon x is y minus 52 is equal to 0. Do you all understand this much? Everyone clear with this? What we started off with was that y is equal to x plus 1 upon x. Then we squared both the sides. Y square became x square plus 1 upon x square plus 2. And then we minus 2 from both the sides so that we could get this x square plus 1 upon x square. Okay. Now, next step, we'll simplify this. So 9y square minus 18 minus 9y minus 52 is equal to 0. So minus 18 and minus 52, we can add them. That is 9y square minus 9y minus 70 is equal to 0. Right? So now we can solve this as a normal quadratic equation. Can we reduce the size? Can we divide it with anything? Yes, no? No. 9 and 70, they don't go in any tables. You can't make it smaller. So we have to use our normal sum and product method. So sum is minus 9 and the product is 9 into 70. 9 sevens are 63 with a 0. Yep. Okay, so what are the two numbers now? Signs. What are the signs of the two numbers?
Bigger number is minus.
Minus plus. So you can start with 10 and 1. Then make it bigger. I'll add 10 to both the sides. So 10 and 20 and 11. 20 into 11 is how much? 11 into 20? 220. We need to go bigger. So I'll add 10 again both sides. 30 and 21. What is 21 into 30? 630. You got the number.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is 9y square minus 30y plus 21y minus 70 is equal to 0. Now take out common. What is common from 9y square and 30?
1.
Anything else? 3 is also common.
Yes.
So 3y is the common. 3y into what is 9y square? 3y minus 10 plus what's common here?
7.
7. So 7 into 3y
Minus 2.
minus 10 equal to 0. So we have 3y minus 10 into 3y plus 7 equal to 0. All of you follow along. You're going to do this on your own. Okay, as of now, I only hear Aman and Ahmed answering. Okay, so 3y minus 10 is equal to 0 or 3y plus 7 is equal to 0. So here 3y is equal to 10 and y is equal to 10 upon 3. Here 3y is equal to minus 7 and y is equal to minus 7 upon 3. We're not done here because our aim is not to find y. Our aim is to find x. Correct, no? So what we do now is we substitute the value of y, x plus 1 upon x, in place of this y. So x plus 1 upon x is equal to 10 upon 3 or x plus 1 upon x is equal to minus 7 upon 3. Okay, and now you have to solve this to find x. Now what will happen here? X square plus 1 equal to 10x upon 3. That whole upon x will go multiply there. And the 3 will get multiplied on the side. So that is 3x square plus 3 is equal to 10x. What did you see? You got another quadratic equation. Then again you have to solve this quadratic equation. You'll get 2 values for x. Same way here also you'll solve that quadratic equation. You'll get another 2 values for x. Yeah, so you'll have 4 values of x. Okay, as you can see, these sums are little extra long. Okay, and you don't get generally like these sums for your exam. But did you all understand how to solve this? Okay, start doing. It won't be very hard quadratic equations, quite simple quadratic equations, except yeah, this was a little big one. Okay, all if you start solving, I'll only show you this first part. The rest of it you do by yourself. Start. As you get any doubt along the way, please ask.
I don't understand this one.
This part, how you got y square?
Yeah.
Here I substituted these two values.
Minus 9 might be good. Why?
Huh?
Yeah. Like x plus 1 upon x equal to 1.
Yeah, here that's what we started off.
So then 9 into 1.
Why? This is why. Name these things. We'll call this 1. We'll call this 2. So I can write here substitute 1 and 2.
Anna, are we supposed to be simplifying it?
Yeah.
We get the decimal value in the decimal.
You won't get
The bits
decimal.
behind it stuff. Yes.
It is
The
decimal.
second equation. Yes.
Oh,
We have to get the root of 13.
okay. Answer is written as root of 13 or they've given the decimal value?
Yes. It is minus 7 plus minus root 13 upon 6.
So they didn't solve the decimal. They didn't solve the square root. They wrote it with the decimal. I mean, with the square root, no? Yeah. Yeah, that much is enough. See, sometimes, if it's too big, instead of solving this long division method of the square root of any value, you can just write it with the square root. Like for this question, it's too big already. So the answer, first equation, you can solve this, I think, using sum and product. Second one, you can't. So leave it with the root. Like substitute the values in the formula. Leave the answer with the root. Did anyone get the two values for x from the first quadratic equation?
Yes, and 3 and 1 upon 3.
3 and 1 upon 2. Okay.
1 upon 3.
Okay. Solve the quadratic equation. What I'm saying is, if you're using the formula method for solving the quadratic equation, you have to do square root of some number, no? So if the question is too long, don't do square root and do the long division method. You can leave the answer with the square root itself. So here it is what? Minus 10 is the sum. Product is 9. That is minus 9 minus 1. Right? Okay. I'm not continuing this. So this is just a test to see how good you can do this question. Okay. But such big questions will not come in the exam because you see, we have taken almost half an hour or more to solve this question. Even if you solve it fast, it will take you at least 10 minutes if you're fast. And you don't have that much time for any question. Okay. All right. So I think we can move on to the next subject. Okay. We're done with this chapter in in maths. Quadratic is over. So now you just study. You have 2 or 3 days to study for it. Today's what, Monday? Your test is on Thursday. So you have today, tomorrow, and day after tomorrow. 3 days to study for the test. That's too long, actually. Should we prepone the test to Wednesday? Because you don't need so much time. You want to study also with you. Huh? I think Wednesday is good enough. 2 days.